All right, Chicago Hockey Radio. Welcome to Friday, everybody. Hawks are on a win streak, and the weekend is coming. Justin Lynch, Lee Grossman, Tassos Kirkos, and Raven Gasser are all bringing it to you live on YouTube right now, and also available wherever you get your podcasts later on. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, and make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review. We love hearing from you guys. It means a lot. We did the meet and greet at the second intermission of the Hawks game yesterday. We were all there. That was super cool. A lot of fans telling me, or someone was telling me, Crystal was telling me that she's only an audio listener. She only listens on Spotify. Okay. But, you know, like we had people saying that, you know, the streams were really good. Shout out Will, even though you and I are beefing. Yeah. Yeah, but that was really cool. He loves the live streams. I know a lot of you guys have loved it, and that's been such a fun thing that we've gotten to grow. But yeah, last night was a ton of fun. Hawks are on a win streak. Everybody go tell a friend about this podcast, and we're all set. Programming. We're going to do that first before. So mentioned it on the post-game show last night briefly, but podcast on Monday, remote. We'll all be from home. No show Wednesday, no show Friday, although we still will be doing the post-game shows next week. So, but we will come back the following Monday, ready to go, just regularly scheduled programming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we might even throw a Tuesday episode in there for the Winter Classic, like a little bonus. Pre-short kind of filmed content. Maybe we're trying to have a lot of in-person guests that week. So, maybe if they want to come in on a Tuesday, we'll have them in on a Tuesday. But that's all I got, programming wise. Hawks win.
We're doing a show Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were doing the live stream.
Oh, okay.
We can do another live stream. Absolute Cinema. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were doing yeah. Okay. All right. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out and let everybody know. But I'm pretty sure we're doing a show on Monday too.
That works for me. But yeah, how about them Hawks?
Yeah,
We're going streaking. We're going streaking. A real win streak, 3 wins in a row. Some would say 2 isn't. It's the first time the Hawks have done that since February of 2023. Since Patrick Kane, his last, I think, 3 games as a Hawk is the last time the Hawks have won 3 consecutive games. So first time they've done the Connor Bedard era, first time the Nick Foligno captaincy era, and then first time the Anders Sorensen era. So very good to see that. I think this team needed it. I think we were all feeling pretty optimistic about going to yesterday's game, and just seeing it in person, it was a great game, a great team win. The vibes are very high at this team right now, and it's great to see it.
Team's 4-3 now under Sorensen.
Yeah, over 500.
Do they just look like a completely different squad to you?
They do. I mean, they're just getting more. We've talked about this a lot. They just look so much more involved offensively, so much less conservative. That's stepping back, right? They're playing the same way each period. It's just more fun to watch, more engaging. It's the way this team should be playing. It's like, and they got this youth invested in the team too. I think that's been helping out a lot as well. It's great to see. About time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Tassos obviously did the post game last night, and so we got to give our thoughts. But I am interested in hearing kind of a little bit more of your perspective on the game.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Mikheyev and Teravainen being gods right now, apparently.
Yeah, it's funny. I wasn't sure how long this connection will last. I'm pretty sure I said before this week that you got to move Turbo up, but at this rate, the way that those two have been playing together, it's I don't think you can break them up. They've been playing so well. It's you're forced to keep them together. But Mikheyev 2 goals last night. Turbo 2 assists. How about Turbo? 8 points his last 3 games. He's been absolutely cooking lately. And I do think that's pretty interesting. You see a lot of these European players have been playing a lot better since Sorensen's been coach. I don't know if there's some sort of correlation there or whatnot, but I do think that's kind of interesting to see. But yeah, that's been a great third line for the Hawks. I want to pose the question. I think it might be interesting. How about you keep Turbo and Mikheyev together, but you move them up and put them on Connor Bedard's wing? What would you guys think of that idea?
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think there's something to be said about coaches wanting to spread around the wealth, and these guys are playing so well on the third line. Do you want to move them up to the first line and then send the guys on the first line down, Foligno, Donato down to the third line? Does that have a negative effect on the roster? I don't know. But I think it could be, on paper, that should be pretty solid. You got Teravainen to create with Bedard, and then you got Mikheyev to be, defensively responsible and work hard at retrieving pucks in both zones. So I think on paper it could work.
Yeah, another reason I pose that question is because I feel I think if you guys noticed this watching, just being at the game last night, I don't think Foligno and Donato were working that well with Bedard. Yeah, I get having Donato up there. He's been playing so well lately. He had a great assist too on one of Mikheyev's goals. He's been cooking. Actually, no, sorry. There was Nolan Allen's first career goal that he had that nice assist on. But I just feel like that hasn't really been working the top line. But, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So maybe there's an argument you just keep things the way they are right now until you lose again. Just keep the same combos, right? So there's a point there because a lot of times Richardson would, juggle these lines, then we lose that chemistry we built up. And that has something to be said. I feel like the chemistry overall in this team has been so much stronger since Sorensen's took over. I do think he deserves some credit for that. But yeah, how about that 4-3 now under Sorensen, over 500? Maybe it's that initial bump. Maybe it's some of these players. This change is like a kick in the ass to them to get them going. Right, they feel responsible for Richardson's demise. I think it was a popular coach amongst the players, but Sorensen seems to be connected with these guys. I think the system seems to be working, and it's fun to watch. Great to see. Just watch the game last night. It's just entertaining hockey. I mean, the first period was a little sleepy, but I thought the Hawks were playing well. But it was they're out shooting and out chancing the Kraken, just weren't breaking through. But I think they were due. I think going into that third period, you could feel it. Right, they got that goal late, and I think Mikheyev just. This guy, dude, well, the type of run he's on right now needs to be studied. I'm not sure where this came from, but I'm enjoying watching it. We'll see how long it lasts, right? I got the belt last game. I think he could have given it to himself, but he gave it to Nolan Allen. First career goal, good to see. That's another guy we should talk about. Nolan Allen. I don't know about you guys. I see a little bit of Nicholas Hjalmarsson in him. He's just a strong defensive defenseman. Not too afraid to get involved in the offensive zone as well. I'm not saying he's going to beat Hjalmarsson, but he's just so smooth, so reliable defensively. Good to see him rewarded that first career goal. That's a beauty too. I think for that to be your first goal, pretty nice.
Safe to say that this team is playing with it's a different style of hockey, or at least severely tweaked. And I think a lot of the players are enjoying the games more. Yeah. I'm sure partially it's because they're actually winning games, but I think all of that is connected to you just said like the uptick in chemistry and stuff like that. I think it's just they're not miserable anymore, and so I think that plays an effect. Something that I did want to talk about is when Jones comes back, and I think Jones is going to fit in. So I think he's going to thrive. I think he's going to thrive under this system. But when him and Martinez are back, who do you start scratching? Who do you send down? Because Korchinski, Allen, all those guys can't play,
Well, they've already sent down one of them, Kaiser. Why Kaiser was just sent down, which I'm not surprised by that. I think if there's a guy I could point to, the show, even if it didn't get that news yet, it'd be him. He's been kind of struggling lately. He's been scratched. I think he could definitely use some more seasoning in Rockford. But to answer your question, because, I imagine that's anticipation of Jones returning. I mean, we don't have any news on that yet, but considering the fact that he's been practicing and he and Mrazek were kind of slated to return around the same time, we know Mrazek's going to be back Saturday and net. I happen to think Seth Jones can be back soon. I know I've been speculating on that in the show. And again, that's just me speculating. I have no, insider information there. But there's going to be another move too, right? When Martinez comes back, because he's on IR right now, so you're going to have to send down somebody else. I hope it's Crevier. I hope it's not Kevin Korchinski, because I think Korchinski's look pretty confident up here, pretty smooth. I know no production yet like Frank the Tank, but I think both of them they look like NHL players. They look like they fit in this system, this style. I think they'll get going. So I wouldn't send Korchinski down. I would send probably Crevier. He was kind of rough last night. I think he's just an AHL player. I don't think he's an AHL guy.
Yeah. And as you said, did you say that Smith got put on IR?
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Craig Smith was placed in IR, which that's too bad because I think that fourth line is a lot less noticeable without Craig Smith. I think just Joey Anderson just doesn't really do it in that line with Maroon and Reichel, and that's another topic I know I yap about a lot in the show. But I mean, my friend Eric, who's at the game with me last night, he was barking about this. Like Lucas Reichel, but consistently playing fourth line 10 minutes a night. It's like we got to figure out what we got in this guy, right? And I just think consistently playing a Pat Maroon down there, it's like I know they have chemistry, but I think you get that guy an extended look in the top six. Like he could really cook, and we can figure out if he's going to be a part of this core. We don't really know that for just playing him 10 minutes a night, right?
Yeah, I don't mind him playing with Maroon per se. It's more about the minutes for me than anything. You have seen the past couple games, Sorensen's been like every period, like at least once, double shifting Bedard and putting him on that fourth line with Maroon and Reichel. So I like to see more of that because I agree with you. I think Reichel's been really strong for us all year, and we want to see what we got and know what we got. So I think the only way to do that is by playing him more in up the lineup.
Yeah, no, I think that's the move. I think if you give him an extended look with Bedsy up there or Turbo, I think that would look pretty good.
You guys want to hear these clips?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Which one you want to hear, the coach first or the captain?
Probably start. Let's start with the captain. I think this is Foligno. He's on describing the win streak and kind of what's been working at this new style of play. Yeah.
It's prettier hockey. I mean, even if it isn't, like, right, it's Anders kind of says it's kind of funny, but it's like it's not sexy, but it is like it's good hockey. And I think that's what guys are seeing. It's not, you're threading it through a guy's legs or through your own legs and lifting it and going in the net. Like it's good hockey because it's tape to tape. It's clean. It's in the back of the net, right? Or it's a breakout play that just looks so good, and now you're flying. You got 3 guys or 4 guys flying in the rush, and then plays develop from that because we have the guys who have skill to make those plays. And so that's where it's exciting to see our group understand that and get rewarded for that.
Absolutely. Beautifully said by our captain.
I like the way he describes things, man. Yeah, sexy. I guess that was the coach saying it, but it is like. And I want to say the tape-to-tape passing has looked so much better under Swordside. That was the thing that this team weirdly struggled with under Richardson, right? These transitioning from the offensive to D zone was a struggle, but this team, it's like it just seems so much smoother. Guys are on the same page out there, right? It is more fun to watch, more entertaining. We're actually in sync out there, right? And that's good to see. And it's going to lead to more results, and we're seeing that right now. So yeah, I think Sorensen does deserve some credit for that, for sure.
There's absolutely a different attitude about this team right now than there was a couple
Don't the players
weeks ago.
just sound so much happier? The vibes are high. Like a lot of these like depressing clips that we'd be looking at after these interviews after these losses, but now it's like when you're winning games, it's amazing what that can do. And just playing better hockey, the vibes are this high. They're so much higher. It's good to see it. Perfect timing. I brought this up last show. Perfect timing lead up to the Winter Classic. Get a win streak going. Like couldn't ask for better. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we listen to the boss's clip?
Yeah, let's hear Swords. I think he's describing the same thing, pretty much.
What's been encouraging to you over the last 2 weeks?
I think the daily process of how we're doing things, but even within our game, I think we're playing a little bit more. We're hanging on to more pucks. I think we're making a little bit more plays. We're a little bit more on the rush, maybe, which has been good. I think today again, I thought we did that, and I thought coming out of our D zone, we're coming out with numbers, and that's a big part, and we're connected coming out. It's not one guy coming out, we're connected coming out, so that helps.
That's kind of building off what I was saying. It's like I think that's a big part of why I think Seth Jones, like you said, is going to work great in the system. The D getting involved in the rush, are you kidding me? Like that is made for Seth Jones hockey. So that's good to see. A good more offense coming from throughout the lineup, right? A lot of these D guys, like we weren't scoring much goals from having much goals from the defense under Richardson, but that's been increasing a lot under Sorensen, right? So I mean the forwards getting involved, the D getting involved in the O. It's good to see back check, forecheck, paycheck. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it was another game of us just being we were the better team last night. We looked like the better team through all 3 periods. They didn't really look very threatening at any time. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was a little concerned after we weren't able to score on all those good chances. I was like, uh-oh. But then Seattle really never looked like they were going to beat us, which I think was big and not something I've felt very often this season.
I will say one thing. I hate to poke fun at my boy here, but that chance in the first period where Bedard is right in front of the net, his opportunity to bury a goal here. Instead, he decides to pass. I can't remember if it was to Foligno or Donato.
It was Donato.
To Donato. And to be fair, if it gets some elevation, that puck that's in. But Bedsy, you gotta take the shot there, bud. Like I don't know, he's too unselfish. I noticed that a lot last. It wasn't a bad game for him. I thought he had a lot of little looks, chances. He's been getting the puck a lot more, but he's got to shoot it more, man. Like that's been a thing all season. I don't know why he's been so pass first. It's like I think the goalies see that too. But yeah, maybe it's just like the goal droughts and something. Maybe it's no longer in a goal drought. Maybe that's still in his head a little bit. I don't know. Not gonna speculate. He had a fine game, but yeah, that was even I couldn't defend that move though. He should have shot the puck there.
That's one of those plays where like if Donato converts, you're like, oh wow, what a patient good play by Bedard, and then Decord ended up making a great save on it. So we're like, come on, Bedard, shoot.
I just think you got to take your chances, right? Like guys like Donato, when they get opportunities, like they take it. Even if it's not the grade A chance, like they'll, and that was a grade A chance to be fair. That's just one. That's like the only really negative there. But I think otherwise, I think it's also good to see the Hawks coming away with these close games. Like this isn't. These situations, the late game situations, they're not new for the squad. We've been here before all season. We've never been blown out. It's always been like one goal, like games, like one goal leads heading into the third period, right? But we're actually coming away with them this time. Like even when the Kraken scored that goal and make a 2-1 hockey game, I wasn't really that nervous because I knew this team would respond. Under Richardson, that wasn't always the case. Like I felt more confident, and the team they seem to lock in more after these instances. So that's another positive as well. Yeah.
How'd you feel Soderblom played?
Another good game for him, too. I mean, he's really only had one negative performance. I mean, he's a good bounce back, good response after that rough Isles game. He's won 3 straight wins for Arvid Soderblom. I mean, that is something. I do feel bad he didn't get that shutout, though. I was really hoping for that. No shutouts yet, but he's probably padding into that win-loss stat a little bit, which is still a bit lopsided. But he's been having such a solid season. And, yeah, we talked about this before. The Hawks are going to have a real conundrum, when Brossoit does come back. Figure it out. Maybe Mrazek will generate some interest or something, because you're not going to trade a guy who just signed. So it's either Soderblom, you either send him down, somebody's going to claim him, or Mrazek, maybe have to trade him or something. But we'll see. That's a ways away. That's a problem ways away. But Soderblom's been so good, man.
Yeah. Do we know what's any update on the ETA for Brossoit?
No.
Do you see the Hawks kind of balancing Arvid and Mrazek a little more?
I think they said that it's going to be a 1A, 1B tandem. I think it should be, right? The way Soderblom's been playing, you could argue he's been the better goaltender of the two this season. So that's a classic example of a 1A, 1B tandem.
Yeah, and just especially with, we've talked about it before on the show, but Mrazek being a little injury prone.
You don't want to make things worse, right? I think he could have come back sooner, but I think he got the flu after that, so he had to stay out a little longer. But yeah, with Peter, he's had issues staying healthy in his career, so I think balancing the workload with him would be smart for the Hawks.
The situation with these 3 goalies, though, is so weird because it's like Arvid is the guy you should probably be keeping. Yeah. But the other 2 are the ones you just signed this season.
Yeah, Mrazek, right? We signed him in January, last year too. He was pretty recently extended, I think, till next season. And then Brossoit, I don't think we really need him anymore. So I think the easy fix would be just ship him off. But Davidson's not going to go back. You just signed this guy, you're not going to do that, right?
Also, his value is so low. Brossoit's not played a single game this season, and he's been injured. So I don't think you're going to be able to. You're going to lose money off that. No. So I think if anything, what you would do is if you feel like Arvid's been playing well enough, and you want him to be the guy for the next couple of years.
Send Brossoit to Rockford for a conditioning thing.
Yeah, send or trade Mrazek.
Yeah.
Because I think that's that makes the most sense. I think you could probably get something for.
Teams are going to want Peter.
Yeah.
There's going to be teams, in playoff spots who are struggling goaltending. Are going to teams will come calling for him, especially if he keeps playing the way he did. I think we've always known Peter's kind of a stopgap transitional netminder too. He's not going to be the guy for the squad. So I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think with Soderblom, it's no longer early season. I thought, it might just be something that doesn't last year, but I don't know. It's been going on for so long this season, been so consistent. We might have something with him, right? And you don't know if
he's only 25 years old.
Yeah,
dude.
He's still young. I mean, he's coming into his prime here. The Hawks have. The organization has kept their faith in him despite his rough season last year, so I think he should be awarded for his good play.
A 25-year-old goaltender is like a 21-year-old right wing,
Yeah, they take longer.
They take longer to develop and they play longer. Yeah, man, we might have something with him, and so that's not a guy I'd particularly want to move on. I think I'd rather move away from either Brossoit or Mrazek than I would Soderblom.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
Because what if this guy's legit and you move on from him and it's that was you had your goalie thing sorted for the future.
I have an example of that. Look at a guy like Kevin Lincoln in Vancouver, right? I mean, he's up there, shutouts in the league, been playing really well, with Demko's situation. He stepped up. So, I'm not saying we could have had something with him and we let go. And now, that happens a lot in the NHL, especially with goaltenders, right? They thrive elsewhere. And then it's like Olmark at Buffalo is another example, right? Yeah.
I do want to jump in here with a couple of points. Do you guys have any more really on the Kraken game? Do you want to talk tomorrow about Calgary and the Flames and what you guys are kind of expecting tomorrow's afternoon to look like?
Yeah, we got up in the post. You guys have more of the Kraken, I think. But you guys, broke it down a lot in the post game show.
We ripped on the Kraken last night. I don't know. They're terrible.
I felt, I was optimistic going into last night's game because I felt this team has momentum. The Kraken, they're just not that good of a hockey team. So I thought it was a game the Hawks should win. They did, which is something we haven't really been saying a lot this season, right? The Hawks winning games they should win, and we've seen that lately. So that's good to see as well. But yeah, we could transition to the Flames game. I don't think the Flames, they're no longer in a playoff spot, but they're close. They're still 15, 11, and 7. But definitely had a better season I think we anticipated. I mean, it's not the same as early this season when it's they're on that run. It's definitely come back to reality a little bit here. And I don't think they're going to be a playoff team, but they have been better than I think people expected. It's a better roster. I think it
Flames are 1 point out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're 1 point out. Yeah, probably the Canucks.
They're not going to be even close.
Colorado and Vancouver are tied.
You don't think you're going to get that Flames tattoo, Lee?
Not even close. No.
We'll
they can't. I was just looking at their stats. They can't score. They don't have a single player anywhere near a point per game.
Is it just
Nazem Kadri isn't?
No,
close?
not even close.
is it just me or like
Huberdeau's the closest. He's got like 24 and 30.
is this roster and team like kind of similar to the Kraken in a way?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of these rosters in the NHL, like if you're on the bottom, a lot of these are similar molds. Like these guys are, Kadri and Huberdeau are more exciting than the top guys on the Islanders right now. But
Kadri's had a good season.
Yeah,
He scored some ridiculous goals this year. And
every goal he scores is like a Sports Center
that
top
one
10.
where he
Yeah.
jumped over the D man, like that was I've never seen a goal like
Yeah,
that.
that was
That was
crazy.
ridiculous.
The spin after.
Yeah.
That was nuts. But yeah, like the Flames are a team that they struggle to score goals. They have a little more top end, but like not really much beyond that. They got guys like they got Zari's pretty nasty, and but they don't really have a ton of like.
Coronado can shoot the puck in the net.
He's got a bright future. And the defense, I mean, maybe a little. Well, I don't know if it's stronger actually. I mean, you got Anderson and Uyghur, but outside of that, it doesn't really move me.
And I hear that like Anderson's available for the right price. Like
Okay.
that's a name. I feel like I'm like not the only one that says that. Like I feel like that's a name that's out there. If you're really looking for a big needle moving defenseman,
he's that.
and like that would be the guy to try and go and get.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, because that defense without him though would be kind of sus.
is he a right shot?
Yes.
But he's good. I feel like he's one of the more underrated D in the league too. Always been solid there. But yeah, net the problem they're stronger in net. Like Wolf's been having a good season, Vladar too. Like that's been a pretty good tandem for them. So that's been I think what's hurt them too. I think the Manth injury was tough because he was cooking early in the season on that offense. So losing him definitely did hurt them a bit. But I think it's definitely a better squad than the Kraken, but not that much better. Like I think they've gotten probably more wins, more points out of that team than they probably should. But it's starting to come back down. So I think for the Hawks, right, I look at this, the homestand's done. We're away now, back in Calgary, which I will say the Hawks always seem to struggle at Calgary. That's something I've always noticed. But and they did lose them early in the season. But I think they kind of got goalied that game. But this new system and the way we're looking now, 3 wins in a row, a real win streak, as some would say. I'd love to make it 4. And I think they could do it. I mean, I think this is definitely another winnable game for sure. Keep this momentum rolling. And I think so.
It's a winnable game. I think that like if we play well, we're a better team than them. It's just I don't know. It just feels like a spot where we lose.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there.
It feels like a spot where we lose, like a very low scoring, boring game. I hope I'm wrong about that, but it's just like you got 3 in a row. You're feeling good about yourself. You go on the road and just lay a stinker.
Mrazek's first game back too, like how's he going to look? I'm missing almost 2 weeks. Like it might not be seamless, right? So
Do you think Mrazek gets the start tomorrow?
He is? Yeah, he will get the start tomorrow.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was activated Thursday, but obviously not going to throw him right to the Wolves right away.
Yeah.
I'm glad they started Soderblom too, because Mrazek also has kind of struggled against the Kraken in his career. I remember being at the game where he led in 4 goals on 5 shots a couple years ago. But yeah, Peter will be back in net. I do wonder if we'll hear something about Seth soon. I know I said that before. I'll say it again, but just he's been practicing, so I have to think, if that Kaiser being sent down, I have to think that's in anticipation of something, but we'll see.
I think who they starting at tomorrow is a big deal too, because if it's Vladar, I think the Hawks would much rather see Dan Vladar in the net tomorrow afternoon than Dustin Wolf.
Did not
at home.
enjoy Dustin Wolf in October. He stole that game for the Flames. Like the Hawks, I think we're a better team that game.
That kid's unreal.
He is. He's got a future for sure. I think, Celebrini, Michkov, and Wolf, that's your top 3 Calder right now, probably.
Yeah. So what do you put the odds at for the Hawks winning this game? 50-50?
I mean, I think
Is this a coin flip?
the betting odds are probably favor the Flames, I imagine, but the Hawks are in a win streak here, and I do think the way we're playing now, right now, I think like this second, I think we're the better team. So I think I think the Flames, it's kind of fizzled out a little bit lately. It's flamed out, as I would say. So I think the Hawks, I would actually favor them. I would give them like maybe 55-45. Not a huge edge, but I'd give them a slight edge.
Hawks
the Flames do have home field
150.
advantage.
Hawks are plus 150. Flames are minus 180.
Yeah. So there you go. So not a coin flip.
So not a coin flip.
Vegas feels the opposite to you.
Yeah, well, I don't care what Vegas has to say. I'm thinking what I have to say.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I respect on this planet, it's the book.
Yeah, you're more of a betting guy than I am.
Okay, not to get like totally ludicrous here, but if the Hawks win tomorrow,
Oh boy, oh no.
I'm so
they-
ready
oh,
for it.
no.
Let's do it. Say it.
if they win tomorrow and a couple of these teams lose, like San Jose and Anaheim, you're gonna start leapfrogging these teams here. There's a lot of games this month. You're gonna have an opportunity to, and what I've been saying on my show recently is like, with the Pittsburgh stuff and and all of that. It's like, okay, you show me once, Ottawa, right? Show me once, show me again now. You show me again, and I will take you seriously. Pittsburgh, go 7-2-1 again now, and we'll talk about you making the playoffs. Same with Ottawa, because now I think in the NHL more than ever, you can go on a 7, 8, 9, 10 game win streak even and miss the playoffs. Yeah. So it's you gotta like show me once and then show me again. The Hawks are in the middle of the show me once phase. But hey, if you get through the show me once phase, then suddenly we might be, you pick up 3 wins in the next 4 games here, and you watch teams like Seattle and Anaheim and San Jose lose games.
My pushback to that is that, we're going to be leapfrogging garbage teams in the Pacific. I think the Central is a completely different animal, and I feel like all we're doing in leapfrogging these teams is leapfrogging ourselves out of a lottery pick.
It's December here, man. Let's have some fun. I think we all know that this isn't gonna last, but let's make it a little more than just a flash in the pan.
I'm a little under the weather, so I just have no joy today.
That's all right. I'm a little under the weather too. This time of year sucks with the
this is Lee's flu game.
Yeah,
this is my flu game. Backs against the wall.
The Hawks are tied with the Sabres right now in points. That is so funny. It shows the type of season they're having. And you do mention we're only a point away from the Sharks, which we should be. We should be better than the Sharks. Ducks, too, I think we're better than them. But I know Lee would be worried about the lottery odds there. But I still don't think we're going to finish. I know as bad as the Predators have been, I still think they probably finish.
My thing is that I think we're going to end up finishing where Davidson kind of wanted us to finish. Like, I think we're going to be ahead of a couple of these bad teams, but we're not going to be close to the playoffs. Just because if you think about the 3 teams, if you think about Winnipeg, Minnesota, Dallas, okay, and then you've also got to be better than Utah and Colorado.
Oh, yeah, playoffs are ridiculous. I'm actually surprised. People are probably joking about this because people say that immediately after wins, right? You have those delusional reactions. But, I've been surprised how much people are like, oh, is there a playoff? Phil and Sandy run this team. Like, hell no. That's not even, I'm not even going to entertain that.
Yeah.
But, and, in terms of fish kind of teams, worst case, okay, we're still going to be in the mix of the lottery. I think you look at the the Western Conference, okay, Sharks, Ducks, definitely finish at them. Predators season they were having, maybe, although I'm still pushed back a little bit against that. But and then you look at the Eastern Conference. I think the Canadians are really the only team I see. Maybe the Sabres, but I think they probably get on track here. But so what is that? 5 teams there. Worst case, we're finishing 26th, 27th. I don't know. It's not end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I think you can still get something good with the 6th overall. But
yeah, I would like to be in that top 3 or 4.
It would be nice to be guaranteed. If you finish 3rd from the bottom, you're guaranteed to not be picking lower than 4, which is pretty nice. Because in this draft, if you're not picking lower than 4, you're getting one of those top guys.
Yeah, Higgins and the 3 M's we always talk about, Misa, Marteau, McQueen. It'd be nice to get one of those bunch, but then that's a later issue. Right now, I think, it'd be nice to go on more than a legit win streak. 3 games. A lot of these teams win 3 games, it means nothing. But for this Hawks squad that hasn't done it in months, it means something, right? But let's go on a legit little let's have some fun here, right? Why not? Leading up to the Winter Classic, this is the perfect month to go on a little insanity run, I think, and then we'll snap back to reality in the new year, right? That's the way I see it.
I'm going to make a claim here, and you guys can either agree or disagree. I would rather pick 3rd or 4th in this draft than 1st.
I say you really want Porter Marteau.
You'd rather somebody else make the decision for you than have to make the decision yourself and then look like an idiot.
Yep.
Because you picked the wrong guy.
Because I don't really trust our front office.
I almost would have preferred that in this past draft with Demidov. That's a topic for another time. But
if Higgins and Schaefer go 1-2, then you've got
Well, then you have a choice between Misa and Martone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Which is better than... Dude, I could totally see Misa being a better NHL player than James Higgins.
His ceiling is higher, but Higgins more of a sure thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Martone, I just think he's the right player for this team because he's a kind of a powered forward with size. It's exactly what I want to see on Bedard's wing. I think he could just buoy the opposition, complete player. I think those two complement each other pretty well.
I think of these 3 guys, one of them's going to end up being significantly better than the others, and we're going to look back on this draft and be like, oh, we thought this guy and this guy was close, So, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think we're still going to be in that position. I'm not worried about. I'm not going to complain about winning more hockey games, man. This is fun. Like it's been kind of a depressing season up until the last couple of weeks, and just these first 2 weeks under Sorensen has just injected life and energy in the squad. And it's like even if we're losing, I think we're losing the right way now. Like we're scoring goals, like the young guns are producing, and even these veteran additions you brought in are actually doing what Davidson envisioned, right? So I think all around, more positivity all around. I think I'm not really in that kind of. I know because there's some people worried about that, but it's December, man. Like that's a later issue for me. Yeah.
All right, you guys want to do Friday questions?
Sure. Yeah,
All right,
let's do it.
Friday questions. We do questions every Friday. Be sure to send in your questions. You can send them 2 ways. You can send them via Instagram DM at Chicago Hockey Radio. To do that, you have to follow us. Otherwise, we won't answer your question. And the second way is to join our Discord. And Raven sets up a little area for everybody to answer questions every week. Changes the date on it. It looks very nice. And we didn't get any questions from Discord this week, so that was pretty sad. But we got a bunch from Instagram. So
Nice.
all right, from AJ, question for the show. Should we be concerned about Connor Bedard? He's been struggling a bit this year.
No. Okay, yeah, that you're looking at the mainstream media narratives there. I mean, talk about the struggle. Here's something I want to bring up. Everybody always talks about Bedard's sophomore slump. Let's look at everybody else in that sophomore class. What the hell has Leo Carlson and Fantilli done this season? I think Bedard has doubled the production of both of those guys. He's still leading this team in points, 26 and 33. Yeah, does that jump off the page? No, but hockey's not all about points. If you've been watching Bedard this season, you know he's been snake bitten. You know he's had bad puck luck. I think he had another post crossbar last night. And you think he's got more post crossbars than goals at this rate, but he's still playing well. I think he's become a better all-around player, except for the face-offs. He's still, struggling with that. But I think otherwise, his defensive game's been better. His all-around game's been better. And I think, he's been playing a lot better in Sorensen, 7.7 games. He hasn't had a point the last 2 games, but I think it shows it's a positive sign this team can win without him, even when he's not producing. But no, to answer your question, I don't think this is.
No, we've talked a lot about.
We've talked a lot about it. Yeah.
I think he's a bust. I think we should trade him.
He's gonna go look at Vancouver.
All right.
No, real talk. If you're, but actually though, like if you're watching these games and you think he's going to be anything other than a superstar, I don't know what you're watching.
I will say this: I can't wait to watch all these recency bias Celebrini greater than Bedard takes age like milk in the future.
Yeah,
I think
they're gonna age
Celebrini's a
horribly.
great player, but those takes are not going to age well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there right now. That's not me home cooking. That's just
Yeah. All right. From BMAC, realistically, who and how many players will we see flipped at the deadline? Obvious candidates seem like Big Rig and Halsey. Anyone else in that group? Reckel or Anderson, maybe?
Well, we've talked a lot about Donato. I think he's definitely in there. Guys like Martinez, probably, if he could stay healthy. I think the guys he mentioned as well, yeah, for sure, could be in that mix. I think that's another good thing to see. Like, with those veteran players playing better, it's going to generate more interest, right? I think more players in this team to come calling for. Because a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have thought there'd be many. But now a lot of these guys are playing well enough where some teams will look at them and like, yeah, probably be interested.
I hope we move every last one of them, to be honest with you.
Even Lucas Reichel?
No, not Lucas Reichel. I don't know why that was even... No. Nobody under the age of 25 is going to be even considered to be moved. No, I mean, when I say all of them, I'm talking about
The fake
Alex
Blackhawks.
Martinez. I'm talking about Taylor Hall, Ryan Donato, Craig Smith, Pat Maroon, like all the guys that, especially now that the team's starting to play better, we're going to be able to move these guys and get like actual assets for them. And you've got a million young kids playing in Rockford, and you're going to have the end of the college season, and some of these kids might come make their debuts towards the end of the year. So I'd say move as many as you can for as much as you can.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement there. I mean, a lot of these guys, short contracts could come off the books, right? So let's get some value for them, not just have them leave in free agency for nothing, right? And yeah, there's a lot of guys. Like, yes, the team's a lot younger now. But there's still a ton of guys like Doc, Slaggert, Lepshinov waiting in the rings at Rockford. So, and we'll see even younger team maybe the second half of the season. So that'll be nice to see as well. And all his college players like Warren Zell, et cetera, for sure.
This is your last year to make a splash in the draft. Like, if we're still hyper focused on the 2026 draft,
And then
we failed.
Yeah, we failed. Yeah, I know a lot of people really want McKenna, and he is a stud. But it's like, if we're still taking next season to rebuild, it's not really working, right? And I think next year too, in addition to the draft, let's make a big splash in the offseason. Get a big fish there. I know Tassos has been all over that. I know. Yeah.
Well, I just think if you don't, then you are going to be in contention for Gavin McKenna next year, and that might cost Kyle Davidson his job.
Yeah.
Kevin Davidson. Kyle Davidson his
Hi,
job.
Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. It might cost him his job, but I think maybe that's how this ends up working out though. Like maybe that is how maybe Gavin McKenna is the piece that you need.
Stop it.
Look, maybe
If you don't get one of Hagen's, Misa,
look, I think
maybe
he's of a higher ilk. I think
He's generational.
we've talked about this. If he was eligible for this year's draft, he would go first overall.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's gonna be the best player for the Canada at the World Juniors.
That would be yeah. If he was eligible in 2025 and you had the first overall pick, Lee Grossman as Blackhawks GM, you're going up there and you're picking Gavin McKenna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, but I don't think I think that all these kids are, I think we're already starting to see it. Korchinski's looking good, Nazar's looking good, Bedsy's looking good. I think next year we're gonna be a real team.
And I will say that you mentioned Nazar. I predicted he would finally get the production going last game. He didn't, but dude, that guy, I will keep saying it. He does look so good up there. He is so due. I do wish he'd shoot the puck more like Bedard. He had a few chances to do it and didn't. I don't know what it is of these young guys being unselfish. Be more selfish. That's one thing I got to throw in there.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him at all.
No, me neither. He looks good up here. Yeah.
All right. I think our last question.
So from Quinn.
Vibes are high. This was before the game yesterday. Vibes are high. Manifesting a W tonight. Good job manifesting
Yeah,
that.
well done. Manifest destiny.
The holidays are here. The Winter Classic is around the corner. Let's have a fun question. Ooh. What's everyone's favorite piece of Hawks gear they own? I want to see if Justin got to keep the stick from his shoot the puck.
No, I did not get to keep the stick. I think everybody uses pretty much the same generic sticks, but that's a tough one. I mean, I love my Bedsy jersey, my Patrick Kane jersey. I got a Jalmerson Winter Classic jersey from me 3 years ago. DeBrincat, like reverse retro. I have a few nice Hawks jerseys. It's hard to pick one that's a favorite or just a favorite piece of memorabilia. Probably the Bedsy or Kane home jersey. That's basic, but hopefully I get a Winter Classic for Christmas. I'm fingers crossed there. We'll see. That would definitely be up there. Yeah.
I have a Pierre Palat bobblehead that means a lot to me.
Wow.
Really?
Wow. 60s Hawks legend. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I do have a Pierre Palat bobblehead. I don't know what the actual answer is to that. Something funny at my house in the suburbs is like the bathroom that like is like my bathroom was turned into like a complete Blackhawks. Like it's just Blackhawks theme.
Really?
So right above the toilet when you're standing and peeing, you stare straight in the eyes of Patrick Kane. It's like this portrait of him. Like it's, it wasn't like it's not like an NHL. It's like it was like a modeling shoot that he was doing for like a stick company or something.
Wow.
So it's in like black and white, and he's just staring. And so my friends always joked about staring in the eyes of Patty Kane when they were going to the bathroom.
I had to get a Bedard version of that.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. Well, I will say I didn't grow up a Blackhawks fan, but I was drawn to the logo and the history of the franchise, them winning all the cups, the dynasty and my impressionable youth and all the players and legends that they had on the team. So I actually, when I was, 10 or 11 or 12, got like a Blackhawks jersey with my name on the back, like dorky little kids do.
Nice.
And I don't know. I still have it. It's a classic. It doesn't fit me anymore. If I tried to squeeze it on my tight body right now, it would not work. But I do. Yeah. That's probably it.
Did you get beat up in the hostile South Florida for wearing
no, they
Blackhawks
gear?
Gear?
They're like, oh, what kind of thing is that? What's that?
There's a lot of Hawks fans in Florida, actually. I think.
Yeah, there are. There are. Shout out any Hawks fans in Florida right now.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny.
Snowbirds.
I've got a few. It's hard to pick one. I have a lot of Hawks memorabilia. I'm sure I'll think of all of them when the show ends. But I know there's a Keith jersey in there too. Hossa. My dad has a Clark Griswold Winter Classic, or not Winter Classic, damn. Clark Griswold Christmas Vacation jersey. So that's pretty nice
cool.
as well.
That's fire.
Yeah, he wore that at the game yesterday.
Do you have anything signed by a Hawks guy or no?
I definitely do. I got Makita's autograph. I met Stan Makita. I got his autograph. It's Bobby Hall, a few Hawks legends. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Thanks to everybody. Oh, there was one question in the chat that I figured I would save for this. But somebody did ask it from Joe. Do you guys know why the belt is being used as MVP instead of the gold chain? They just like change it up every year,
Yeah, I
right?
think they just change it up. Like I think Foligno said, we're trying to build something here, so maybe that was a thought with like the tool, kind of going back to the belt. There was a belt before the chain. I think that changed last season for some reason. I don't know, Teza, maybe he kept it or something.
I think this guy's asking those because we started the season with the chain.
We did, like,
and then we
yeah.
moved to the belt.
Was it a chain
Yeah,
at
it
the
was a
start
chain.
of the year?
It was a
May have
chain,
lost it.
but you just don't know that because they won 2 games during the time that that they were using the chain. Yeah, maybe I think it's maybe a luck thing. Maybe they want the mentality to be belt to ass. I don't know, but it's a belt now, and it's going around the locker room a lot more than the chain was. So
Yeah, no. So whatever they did is working there. Another thing I want to mention on the Hawks part, the Hawks did honor Jeremy Roenick last night, which is pretty cool for a Hall of Fame induction. He did a little Q&A thing before the game. I watched that. It was pretty cool. Kind of recapped his Hall of Fame speech, some of his stories there. So good to see the Hawks honoring a legend there. I was hoping maybe we'd see an announcement potentially about a jersey retirement, but that didn't happen. So maybe that's not happening. I don't know. But yeah, JR, Hawks legend. Good to see him at the game last night, and maybe that's a big part of why the Hawks won. They
It was a
JR
loud
in the
standing
building.
ovation.
That was, yeah, it was
Loud.
good to see. Yeah,
When he stood up, it got loud in there.
he was a popular player in the 90s. Like, he was like, yeah, he was the Patrick Kane of the 90s, pretty much, but physical.
yeah, he just seems like such like a cool, like fun guy. Like he seems
He's a cool
like
guy to
such
have a beer with.
Yeah, he seems like such a menace. Like
Yeah.
you could get absolutely blitzed with him. So yeah, I mean, Hawks legend, cool for them to honor that guy. And I don't know, like obviously I didn't grow up in the 90s, so I didn't watch him play, but I think what he's done for the game since is like worth honoring as well. Like I just feel like he's such a strong, big, entertaining personality when there's not a ton of that in the NHL.
Yeah.
So I love JR.
Yeah, he was Mr. Entertainer, and he thought about that. It wasn't just his play on the ice. Like, he was always trying to entertain fans and stuff. He talked about when he did the dance, the Bee Gees dance in Vegas. So before they had a hockey team, right? He was on the Kings and just did the little like shimmy in center ice. Is pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, Justin, from your mother here, Patrick Kane puck, she says, and also an autographed Hossa jersey with Tony
right.
Esposito and Brian Campbell on it.
Dang,
That's right. Yeah, we
That is
did
pretty cool.
something with where we got to get a tour when I was at Ignatius, played for St. Ignatius in high school. We got like a little tour of the Hawks practice facility. We played there too, but the Hawks actual side of it, we met some legends there, so that was pretty cool as well. Brian Campbell, I believe, is assistant GM for the Hawks now, so that's pretty cool too.
Is he really?
I think so.
soupy.
Yeah, I know he. Cause I see him.
He's a
with-
smart guy.
Yeah, I see him like always walking around with Kyle from Chicago all the time. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
He was the one that was like really developing Adam Boquist and.
Well, that worked out.
Something that I did want to make a remark about was we were doing the kind of meet and greet and then talking to that guy yesterday during the second intermission, but they had Greg Berhalter shoot the puck, who I don't know if anybody's familiar with who Greg
idea who that
Berhalter.
is.
He was the head coach of the U.S. men's national team.
Oh, yeah.
and he was horrible. And like I've been calling for him to get fired for like 5 years. And they recently fired him, but now I had no clue. He's now the head coach of the Chicago Fire. So
He's the head coach of the Fire?
he's the head coach of the Fire now. And
Big
I'm like,
Fire
holy
guy?
shit, I had no clue. No, honestly, I've not paid attention. And I probably should. I should pay more attention to
Premier
Chicago
League.
Fire just because I do care about the game of soccer growing in the United States. But dude, I just don't care about the MLS at all.
That's
and
fair.
and yeah, but so then I was going through the Chicago Fire Instagram today, and I'm like, oh my god, they hired Greg Berhalter. That's hilarious. So just I don't know, something funny. If anybody listening and watching pays attention to the U.S. men's national team, I think they'll get a kick out of that too.
The lads.
The lads.
All right, and that was soccer talk. Okay.
Soccer talk.
Football.
Should we,
Soccer.
let's
Call
hit a
it
break.
soccer. Rah.
Let's hit a break. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and tell a friend. We're going to be back in a few moments with NHL Hour, Chicago Hockey Radio.
Welcome back. Chicago Hockey Radio NHL Hour. We have the NHL roster freeze, which means for the next, 7
Week.
days, nobody is allowed to make any trades in the league so that everyone can have a nice, warm Christmas. I'm sure
Don't have to worry
that's-
about getting traded.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what that's about.
Busy weekend around the NHL.
Yeah,
Literally, there's
a million
7
games.
games tonight. There's 11 tomorrow and 6 on Sunday.
Very nice.
That's a lot of
Absolute
games.
Cinema. We got our weekend figured out there, boys. But a lot of trades happened right before that roster freeze, though. It's pretty funny. Broke right after our show Wednesday. We saw him yesterday. Capo Caco traded to the Kraken. Be interested to see what happens there. If that team can kind of revive his career there. They've had a history of doing that. Look at Jared McCann's a guy. Look at maybe that could be something to emulate there. But yeah, the Rangers, man, what team we've mentioned, like that development did not work out there of him, and that's a team that's in free fall selling guys, and now they're 15-15-1. Tough season for them. Might not even make the offs. And then for the Kraken, could be a good piece for the future there.
Yeah, I think on I was listening to 32 Thoughts today, and they were just talking about how it's not a sure thing for them to get in the postseason.
No, not at all.
Like the path they're gonna have to take is gonna be rough. But I would assume that they're gonna make some sort of move after this roster freeze. Just because I think they have to. They want to win now, and they moved these pieces but didn't really gain anything or add anything other than just, extending Shesterkin, etc. So I would assume they're still looking for something relatively monumental that can, move the needle for them, because I think they have to. And it'll be interesting to see with other teams too, like Buffalo. I know their owner and their general manager have said they believe in the roster they have, but it's same thing. It's oh my God, 13 seasons now without postseason. I feel like they need to do something as well. There's been rumors about Pittsburgh moving on from Rust, and
There was some wild stuff out there about Dylan Cousins maybe going to Nashville before the freeze.
oh yeah, I saw it. Nashville was that was supposed to happen. I saw some report that was by the end of the day, Nashville's gonna get Dylan Cousins.
The Yukon native will save their season, right? That's the fix. Well, no, that didn't happen, but maybe after the roster freeze, they'll have time to work something out. But
Sorry to cut you off, but Nashville is the exact team that should be doing business with the Buffalo Sabres. If the Buffalo Sabres are trying to win now, I think Nashville tried to bolster this roster to maybe contend, but it's obviously not happening. And so you've got all these first round picks. You might as well go back to the rebuild. And Buffalo has a lot of young, talented players, and Nashville has a lot of veteran, ready to go now guys.
And that's a trade that would make sense there, work for both parties potentially. Yeah, Sabres now 11 consecutive losses, I believe, and then tonight they're facing the Leafs. So I could have sworn they just played, but so yeah, I'm sure they'll break that losing drought tonight. I don't think so. I think that's going to go on for a ways here. But yeah, we talked about it a bit on this week. Just that team being in shambles right now, definitely could have used a move there probably. Yeah,
it'll be really interesting. They were talking about this on 32 Thoughts too, but the fan breakdown at the Leafs Sabres game tonight, is it going to be 75%
mostly
Leafs fans?
Yeah, I bet so. Yeah.
Given the current state of the Buffalo Sabres, or
Rasmus Dahlin is going to come back into the lineup for them tonight.
That's big. Yeah,
He's missed 7 games because of back spasms.
I think talking on your point about the crowd, I think didn't Lindy Ruff? I think he had a funny comment today, if I'm not mistaken, where he's maybe we could take the crowd out of it, almost like he's thinking it's gonna be mostly a Leafs crowd tonight. Which one?
Oh, it always is in Buffalo.
Yeah, but that's big for them though. Get Dahlin back. I mean, he is that franchise right now, your captain. So maybe that can kind of steer them right in the right direction here. Yeah.
What were the other trades? P.O. Joseph going back to the Pens for future considerations. You had Alex Carrier for Justin Barron.
Joseph one's
1 for
interesting.
1.
Yeah, because the NHL Road to the Winter Classic episode talked about them a bit. Pierre-Oliver Joseph and Matthew Joseph, kind of the relationship they had working together on the Blues, and now that they've been broken up there, so that's kind of interesting. It's a Winter Classic opponent there. But yeah, we'll see what happens there for sure.
well, because St. Louis just brought in
They had posted
They've
something.
been making trades.
They had posted something on Instagram. They brought in Cam Fowler.
Cam Fowler, that's
Yeah,
who they brought in.
that's right,
So
yeah.
they just, I think it was just having too many guys situation where,
But they had posted something on Instagram with like a clip from that, like a photo shoot that they had done or something, 5 hours before they traded him.
That's so odd.
It's like 2 Instagram posts before it. I don't know if they took it down or if they left it up there, but
that
it's pretty
seems
funny.
kind of, unless they're foreshadowing, that's kind of an ugly way to do that. But yeah, I mean, Blues have been making moves, man. A lot of moves this
The
month.
Pens needed it though. That's
Yeah.
good for the Pens to just like get a body on the back end for nothing.
Yeah, that defense has been rough. Maybe you can help out there.
Yeah, you got
That's
Jack
like-
St. Ivany playing on the back end.
Yeah,
You're
no.
going to need some help.
Yeah, no, because I mean they've been playing to the Pens' credit. Like they've been playing better hockey lately. So if they could just kind of iron some kinks out there, like they could be in the mix there. I don't think they will be, but they're over 500 now. So the season's kind of gotten a little bit back on track here, which I'm sure is good for Sid the Kid. I'm sure he's happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the post before. They did something with both Joseph brothers, and then the next post is P.O. Joseph has been traded for future considerations. It's kind of awesome.
That's so
What are the
tone
comments
deaf,
on
dude.
that?
Oh, it's got to be.
Oh, the comments on the post are, this news coming 4 hours after the family promo video with the brothers was certainly a choice. Yeah.
Castellanos with a drive.
So much for P.O. and Matthew getting to play together in the Winter Classic.
Seriously, and it's
Well, that just shows you how like separated like hockey ops and like everything else are. Like
I know.
like obviously, whoever's running social media over there, they're like trying
Not
to.
tapped in.
No,
yeah.
they're just trying to drive engagement. They're like, oh, we got fucking brothers. Let's do something here. And
And then the next post is Matthew talking about P.O. being traded to Pittsburgh, which is so weird. Why would you post that on
yeah,
Instagram?
that's I wouldn't want.
hey, man, how does it feel to not get to play with your brother?
How does it feel that we just shipped your brother out of town for nothing?
Hey, man, we just traded your brother for future considerations. Thoughts on that?
Let's post that on Instagram now.
Yeah, future considerations. We just acquired him from Nashville a while ago. I guess he's already on the move again. So we'll see if maybe he can find a different fit there. He's always a guy's suitcase.
That
ready to
was
go.
some of the comments too. It's like considerations is a tough name to put on the back of a jersey.
Does future considerations ever actually, does it ever actually become anything? Is it just like money? Like
No.
it basically means nothing because you can't trade for nothing. So it's just a fancy way to say that, right?
I think
Yeah.
it used to mean something, and now it means nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
bag
be
of
like, we'll
pucks.
trade you this guy, we'll give you this guy, or we'll do this for you when the time's right.
Yeah, pay it forward. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Imagine like P.O. Joseph just turns into prime Duncan Keith now.
I hope that happens. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
I like the Alex Carrier trade though. Justin Barron on the Habs back end was just kind of a nothing player to me,
Yeah.
and I think they're going to look to move some veterans on the back end, like David Savard, and maybe if they could get off the Mike Matheson deal, they'd probably look to sell high on
Habs
him.
fans would love that. They're not a fan of his game.
So you're going to like bring in a guy like Carrier who's like nails and is also not, puck handling illiterate, like he can do it. And so you're going to need some veteran bodies there as you're shipping out some, because you got the young guys like Lane Hudson and Logan Mayu and Caden Gooley and all those guys, right? So
They got pieces there. May as well play the young guns on D, right? Not these vets.
Yeah.
I like to see the Hawks doing that lately. That's been nice to see. So yeah, Habs
those were
should
the
follow
three
suit.
deals, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was
Capo
it.
Caco, we kind of talked
Yeah,
about.
that was the big one. Yeah.
He wasn't really noticeable yesterday, other
he
than
was a ghost.
ringing one off the bar. That
I
was
hardly
it.
noticed.
He fucking
him,
ripped that shot,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of hard to recognize anybody on that Seattle roster. They just are.
Another middle 6'4". That team is loaded with them, right?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
it's the same build. It's the same build as the Islanders. They're just absolutely riddled with middle six guys.
How about USA Hockey? Hey, they just
Can we
released
do
a-
one NHL thing before
Okay,
we
yeah,
do
okay,
that?
yeah, sure.
But there is some Hawks news. Oliver Moore was just named one of the assistant captains
Oh,
for
nice.
Team USA. So
That's good. Spellacy was snubbed, though, unfortunately.
we'll talk
but,
USA. Did you guys see Brady Tkachuk's face last night?
Yeah, why did he look like Schmeagol? Like he looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
I think he
Precious,
took a
like
puck to
Precious.
the face.
Oh, I thought he just had some fucked shit going
Can we
on.
play the clip? Raven has the clip of him talking from last night.
Tooth gone, so oh Jesus, got a face for radio right there now, so that ain't good.
Or the teeth, how you feeling?
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
That was him speaking.
I mean, there's no better. Like him and Matthew are the best of the best of the best.
The most
Like,
easily marketable personalities
Yes,
for the NHL,
like-
right? Yeah.
like the embodiment of what the NHL is and everything that it needs.
Old school hockey.
Yeah.
I like it.
They're so sick, dude. I love those guys. I would kill to have Brady Tkachuk be on our team.
Okay, now we can do USA World Junior talk and World Junior roster. What are your thoughts? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked as I expected. A couple interesting snubs there. Like E.J. Emery was another one in addition to A.J. Spelcy. I thought Spelcy, I'm a Hawks bias, but I thought he'd be like the perfect fourth liner for a team like that. Good role guy. So I'm a little surprised he was cut. But I think it's a solid squad for the U.S. I don't know. Like I think it stacks up decently to Canada. I know they're probably the favorites going into this, but I know the U.S. have never gone back to back in this tourney. But I think this year could be the year they do it. But we'll see. A couple interesting cuts, though. I'm a little surprised about Spelcy, but glad Moore's on the team and a good role and alternate captain as well. I believe Ryan Leonard's a captain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Ryan Leonard was just named captain.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the top six, I like that. It's just it's a deep roster too, good D, and when you got Augustin in goal, you got it. How many World Juniors has Trey Augustin been in now? I swear every year he's there. So yeah, that's a good X factor.
I heard the defense was not good. Everything that I saw. I don't even know who the bottom pairing guys even are. So
I mean, I was big. I'm really big on Blake Fiddler. It was Vernon Fiddler's son going into this year's draft. A lot of people have him pegged for like the bottom of the first round, like maybe even top of the second round. I think this kid's way better than that. Like I think this is like a top 15 pick if you're really, breaking it down, because you've seen a lot of just draft talk here for a second, but a lot of players that were supposed to be hot stuff that haven't played super well out of the gate. But Fiddler's really good. He was a big cut, I thought, in my opinion. I don't know. Also announced today, CCM and USA Hockey, while we're on this page, CCM Hockey is proud to announce a partnership with USA Hockey becoming the official partnership and supplier for all the national teams. As part of the agreement, CCM will provide state-of-the-art equipment, including helmets, gloves, sticks, skates, and protective gear to USA Hockey's national teams and their fans. That's cool.
Nice.
CCM's the provider now for USA Hockey.
Yeah, very cool. Not as good as Best Stand Tape.
No, not at all. Not at all. So I was gonna say, so Ryan Leonard's the captain, Zeev Bouillon, Oliver Moore, Danny Nelson, and Gabe Perreault are the alternates.
That's right. You got Bouillon on the defense.
How many fucking alternates are there?
4, probably 2 for home jerseys, 2 for away jerseys.
Oh, okay. Okay,
dude.
I see that.
We gotta have big leadership groups now.
Who's Canada's
We
captain
used to
this
live
year?
in a society, man.
Braden Yeager's Canada's captain.
Yeah, he's been on the team for a little bit now. Makes sense.
They're giving fucking everyone the A.
Yeah, I'm glad Oliver Moore. That's good for him, though. I think this tournament's huge for him. He's had a decent season in Minnesota, I would say, relative to Renzella's had a much more impressive season. He could win the Hobie Baker this year, the way he's playing. But Oliver Moore, I think a good tournament here could be huge for him, get his confidence going, and have a good second half of the season here. Could see him kind of like to be the Frank Nazar this year. Maybe we see him at the end of the year make a few games, appearances for the Hawks. Next season, maybe Ice Hogs, maybe he makes the Hawks. We'll see. But I'm a big fan of Oliver Moore's game. One of my favorite Hawks prospects. Hope he has a good tournament.
Should shout out Illinois native, because this is Chicago Hockey Radio. This isn't Chicago Blackhawks Hockey Radio, but it is Chicago Hockey Radio. Illinois native Joey Willis. He plays for the Saginaw Spirit. He's a Nashville Predators pick, but he made Team USA's roster out of camp. And this is actually a really interesting story. I brought this up on my show. This is just like a fun Chicago adjacent bit. So the captain of the Kazakh team. So Kazakhstan is one of the teams that is coming up from Division 1A. So Aslan Zhupikov, is the captain for Kazakhstan at the World Juniors this year. Last season, he played his hockey at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
No way.
He was on the club hockey roster. Then he went back to Kazakhstan this year to sort of gear up for this event. He's the captain. It will be the first time ever that a player who has played in the ACHA will be playing at the top division of the World Juniors.
Wow.
That's isn't that kind of crazy? There. And he played at Illinois last year.
Yeah, Illinois should have a legit D1 squad. That's pretty cool, though. That's nice to see. Kazakhstan, they might have a tough time in this tournament. We'll see. Maybe they can avoid
they're going to get romped every game.
You think there's any chance they can avoid relegation?
Their captain played at the University of Illinois, my guy.
and club hockey.
Yeah, he played club hockey at the University of Illinois.
Yeah, they're going to,
and I don't even think his stats were that good, to be honest with you.
We could probably play that squad.
And he's the captain?
He's the captain.
So they don't have anyone. It's like us going out there playing.
I don't know.
We got the Kazakhstan citizenship. We'll throw us out there. We'll keep them in the mix.
But I thought that was a fun one. It's Chicago Hockey Radio,
cool.
baby. We got
it's gonna be that's gonna be a fucking cookies night for guys like
for Oliver Patrick for. 3-2 for Oliver Moore against the Kazakhs.
If I'm
Oliver Moore, a 10-point game against Kazakhstan.
If I'm on the U.S. team and I get put in the same group as fucking Kazakhstan, I'm licking my chops.
But what group are they in? Actually, I'm not really sure.
Oh, I
That's
don't know.
always
Yeah.
like.
Are we gonna play them?
People are always like, "Oh, this young stud had 27 points in 6 games at the World Juniors." It's like, yeah, because you played Kazakhstan and fucking
Bedard had
Lithuania.
So here I have the
games,
groups right here. It's the U.S. Ooh, this is like the group: Canada, U.S., Finland, Latvia, Germany.
Oh wow,
And
that's
then
a good group.
Sweden, Czechia, Slovakia, Switzerland, Kazakhstan.
Oh, the difference, jeez. Yeah, I think the U.S. group's definitely a bit tougher there.
The World Juniors without Russia
It's not the same. It's not the same. One
these are
less
groups.
superpower. I mean, it's basically pick your poison between U.S., Canada, Sweden, Finland. Occasionally, Czechs will be in there, but it's basically 5 teams of a shot. Russia. It's not the same. Yeah.
Aslan Zhubakov.
That's a cool name. That's a
That
fun
is a
name.
cool name.
That's such a hockey name.
Ashlong.
Zhukov.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. Anything from this weekend? Like, what do you got? An original 6 matchup, home and home between the Red Wings and the Habs. That should be a good one. You got Canes Cap should be a decent one tonight too. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Maybe for the late night. I said it on my show too. I love a good all Canadian matchup. So like the Sens are in Western Canada right now. So you got like Sens Canucks and then Sens Oilers Saturday Sunday. I don't know what else you guys are liking.
I'm looking at the Leaf Sabres game. Like I really do care about. I feel like the Sabres and the Rangers right now are like the biggest stories in the league. Yeah, just so like those are the teams that I really give a shit about. The Rangers have to do something. They supposedly just had a closed door meeting, which whatever the fuck that even means.
Supposed to open door meeting.
So Steve Dangle said that they had a closed door meeting. Johnny Laz clapped back and said
It
that
was
they
a players
didn't.
only.
No, they said no. There was no meeting.
Oh.
Apparently, there was no meeting.
Well, I think that they should have a fucking meeting.
If there's any team that needs a meeting, it's them.
If coming off losses to like the Blackhawks and the Predators and shit, like it's spiraling. If you haven't had a meeting yet with your guys, who's the leadership over there? Like, did Jacob Trouba leaving really like ruin everything? Like, if I'm Artemi Panarin, I'm getting these guys together and I'm being like, hey bums, I'm fucking 33 years old. You guys got to figure your shit out right now. But yeah, I mean, a tough game tonight against the Dallas Stars. We all know what they can do.
And then they play the Hurricanes on Sunday.
Yeah, so it's like, woof, good luck.
I think the barn burner game of the weekend is Sharks Oilers tomorrow. That's a absolute cinematic game there.
Yeah, 10-0 Oilers.
Yeah, Bruno somehow find a way to get a point.
Also have Battle of Florida on Sunday too, with Tampa, Florida. That should be a good one.
That's always a good one. Good. That's an underrated rivalry there, the Florida rivalry.
Give me that in the playoffs every year.
Oh yeah, that's always great.
Every
That's always
single
fun.
year, I would enjoy that.
Hell
It's
yeah.
just like, it kind of sucks that like the Panthers fans are not as like, because they haven't had a winning team as long as Tampa has,
Yeah.
So like the fandom in Tampa is way stronger than it is in Florida, but
It's getting better though. I mean, you'd hope so after winning a damn Stanley Cup, but the attendance has been better and it's getting there.
I remember saying for years that Florida needed to move that team should have been moved out of Florida, but I don't think you can do that after they win a fucking Stanley Cup.
It's going a little better now, I mean, for sure.
Jets Wild on Saturday too. Those two teams always kind of go at each other when they play.
Top 2 teams in the Central.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very true.
Top 2 teams in
The league?
the
1-5.
in the West, maybe.
Jets are still first, man. They've carried the momentum. It's impressive.
Okay,
Wild fifth.
1 and 3 in the West.
Yeah, 1-5.
1 and 5 in the league.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. And then you also got Devils Penguins too. I don't know if that excites you at all.
Tickle my fancy.
Okay. Well, I didn't think Flyers Blue Jackets or Kraken Golden Knights would do it either.
Kraken Golden Knights, yeah, battle of the newest teams. That gets me going a little bit. Yeah.
No, a game with the Kraken, the Flames, the Islanders,
The club.
None of those tickle my fancy ever.
The club was exciting for like a couple of weeks there, and then now I can't.
Fizzled out a little bit.
I can't put on a Utah game. I can't.
It's like watching the Coyotes over.
I didn't even buy into
It's worse than watching.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
They're respectable. You guys aren't that sold on them?
No, why would I be?
I think they got some young talent. They're funner to watch than teams like the Isles and the Kraken. I don't think it's fair to put them in the same conversation as them.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just like, I don't know. I feel like you don't even have a real name. You just moved. I can't take you seriously. I have to see what you can do over a couple seasons. Like,
They're 15-11-5 though.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like they're in the mix.
but
for
like
the
I would
playoffs
say
here.
that we're closer to a Stanley Cup than they are.
Yeah, in the long term, yes. Like,
maybe.
In the
You
short
think like
term,
a
no.
new ass team like this is gonna go all the way
We
through?
have a deeper
and-
prospect pool.
They need a couple of big pieces still.
But they have more
you know,
established
like
pieces right now.
and, yeah, they have like Cooley and Genther and all those guys. Sergachev they
he's
brought
fun.
in and Keller and all that.
Schmaltz.
Schmaltz is a good
Blackhawks
player.
legend.
Yeah, that's a good player. He's had a tough season, but
Yeah, a lot of assists, not many goals. I don't think that's kind of his game though.
same with
Yeah.
Cooley. Same with Cooley there.
Yeah, I like what Cooley. He's fun.
Yeah. Also, Kings Capitals on Sunday too. I don't know. I'm just kind of bouncing around these games here, seeing what looks interesting. I mean, the Sens back to back is probably one of the things I'm watching the most. You know, Canucks on Saturday, Oilers on Sunday. You win both those games, you're legit here. Hold on, let's do a Linus Ullmark update on these stats because they're kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like a 9.79 or something.
Yeah, he's really been a boon that season. While you guys are figuring that out, I do want to bring up one Hawks thing. I speculated this in the Hawks hour.
Yeah.
Seth Jones is confirmed, like he's ready to go, so we'll probably see him tomorrow. So yeah, I just wanted to confirm that because I did wonder about that in the Hawks hour, and I was right. I love when I'm right. I love gassing myself up. Yeah.
Linus Ullmark's last 7 starts, 7-0, 9.67 save percentage, crazy. .99 GAA, 2 shutouts, 1 assist on a game-winning overtime goal by Brady Tkachuk last night. Did you get that?
It's been a big boom to their run here. We talked about the Senators last show, and yeah, I mean, that looks like a playoff team to me. If there's any of those 3 teams that break through, it's them for sure.
Alexander Ovechkin is also on the ice in a regular practice jersey.
Oh, so it should be nearing closer to a return, hopefully.
No more he has shed the non-contact jersey.
Good to see. Yeah, good for them. They're definitely starting to miss him a little bit. You could see it a little bit. A couple losses in a row there, but yeah, they'll definitely look forward to having him back.
Yep.
Okay. Something I wanted to say. Connor Hellebuck having a 926 save percentage across 26 games is insane.
He is carrying my fantasy team. I love that guy.
Insane, dude.
He is him. He's the best goaltender in the league.
I've like barely watched any Jets games this season, but it's like, you know, I know what they've got up front and that they're a pretty good team, but I forget that they are literally just here because they have the best goalie in the world by far. Nobody's close to Connor Hellebuck right now. I don't want to hear Igor Shesterkin. I don't want to hear any of that bullshit.
He's had kind of an iffy season. I mean, the whole
A
Rangers team has.
926 is fucking
In
crazy.
today's NHL, in today's high scoring
playing-
NHL.
He's playing every game.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Who even is their backup goalie?
It doesn't
right
matter.
now?
It's Eric Comrie.
Okay, yeah.
Again.
We hardly see him.
He's played like 6 games.
Yeah, I
only.
know. He's that good. They never have to use him. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's old school. You know, back in the day, the goalies used to play way more games. Like Marty Brodeur played like 70+ games. You don't see that anymore. Hellebuck's probably 60, in the 60 range. But yeah, probably most games played, I'd imagine. Yeah.
All right, I have a few quick things we can hit on. Bruins placing Tyler Johnson on unconditional waivers for purpose of contract
Blackhawks
termination.
legend.
Yeah, that did not last long. I think he played like 6 or 7 games there. He had 2 assists,
Yeah, 2
and that was
assists in
it.
9 games, I think. If I'm not
Not
mistaken.
9, it was 9.
Yeah, I'm an autistic when it comes to stats. You guys know that.
Yeah, so he is off the team. I think Mark McLaughlin had really solidified a 4th line role there in Boston, just made Tyler Johnson kind of useless.
Yeah, I still think he's good enough to be in the NHL. I'm most surprised. I know.
I don't know.
You don't know about that?
I mean, it's not working. You
Yeah.
know, you just
Yeah,
got.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. I'm sure somebody's be interested in Tyler Johnson. I think he could still play. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be able to. I wouldn't, not have him as like a 13th, 14th depth forward on my
he's a
team
decent
going into the
producer.
Yeah,
Stanley
maybe
Cup
like
playoffs.
that. But I'm
Sure.
just thinking like you wouldn't have him as like a 4th line center. You know, like usually when you're that low in the
kinda want the
lineup,
middle
you
six,
want
second,
like
third
defensive guys, and he's not really that.
he's
so,
not at all.
So he doesn't really have like he doesn't make sense. I don't know.
He could be effective like on a second power play unit, like a 3rd line role or something.
Like what would he
that.
even do on the Blackhawks right now? He wouldn't start.
No.
Yeah.
He wouldn't play.
Well, the last thing the Blackhawks need is another guy like
No,
that,
no, God,
slowing
no.
down.
No
I
more
know.
unks.
The
No more
bottom
unks.
six.
I'm just saying, if you can't fucking slide into this Blackhawks lineup, how are you gonna
Who
how
can-
play on a contender?
That's fair. That's a fair point. And maybe the Coolin Red Star calling his name right now if you can't find anything.
Matt Murray has been called up to the to the NHL. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, he's back for the first time since April 2023.
Is he starting tonight?
I don't know. We could check Daily Face-Off really quick here. Wouldn't that be spicy if he was, though? To add a little bit of insult to injury on the buff. Here's a team that's lost 11 games in a row. Let's give them Matt Murray. Oh my God, it is Matt Murray.
Oh no,
it is Matt
Murray. That's
Murray.
a must-watch game now. That'd be so funny.
That is a must-watch.
If he got like a shutout in that game, that'd be so funny. I'm gonna try to speak that into existence. Yeah.
That's crazy that Matt Murray's starting the hockey game tonight
in 2024.
Yeah,
UPL, their version of Solomon.
That's absurd. I mean, I hope he just doesn't get lit up like a Christmas tree,
That'd be funny
or
if he
hurt
shut
himself
them down.
again.
Yeah, it might be a points night in Buffalo.
Yeah,
a lot of Sabres games.
I might hop on the over there.
Yeah, I think you should.
The betting
if
man
it's
over
not
here.
already.
No, but I mean, there's
cooked.
probably no juice, and it's probably like 6.5. We'll take a look.
Okay. And then I think the only Marc-Andre Fleury made his 1,004th career start when they got drubbed by the Florida Panthers the other night.
Yeah.
But he was moving, or with that game, with that start, he moved past Patrick Roy for the third most in NHL history among goalies. Marty Brodeur, 1,251 starts. Roberto Luongo, 1,214, and Flower with 1,004. So only 10 games off of Lou. He'll get there.
Yeah, he'll do the second most. Yeah, it's good for him. Flower just sticking
Played
around.
so
man.
many games.
Yeah, seriously, it's insane. 2003 draft pick. Hard to believe he's been in the league for 2 decades. You always see that often out of goaltenders. So yeah, good for him. Always cheering for Flower.
So, okay. Canada's leadership group for the World Juniors is all Central Division prospects. Oh. Braden Yeager's the captain, Jets prospect. Tanner Molendijk is an assistant. He's the Predators' first rounder. And Cal Ritchie is the other assistant, so Colorado Avalanche.
They only have 3, so they're not doing the home away.
No, they're not doing the Team USA massive leadership group. Yeah, everybody gets an A on the team, except for the goalies. Even the goalies get an A. Screw it.
World Juniors is back in Canada this year, right?
Yes, it is. It's in
I swear
Ottawa.
every other year it's in Canada. I was lucky.
It is in Canada every other year.
They're probably the only country that really is into it like that. Nobody else I think next year
That's
it's
like
in the US, right?
Next year is in the U.S.
Minnesota, right?
Yeah, but
that'd be nice.
there is a
Which
rule.
is
There is a rule
basically
literally
just
that they host the
proxy
World
state of
Juniors.
Canada.
There is a rule that they host the World Juniors in Canada or the U.S. every other year.
Yeah.
Because of interest.
Yeah.
Like they
you gotta
need
get the
that.
crowds, right? I mean, not every European. I mean, some of them were really into it. Last year in Sweden was pretty.
Canada
cinematic,
hosts it every other year. So it's Ottawa this year, Minnesota the next year, and then Alberta the year after.
Yeah, it's always Alberta.
And then they'll go back to Europe somewhere. And then they'll probably come back to Canada. Then they'll do a United States one. And then they'll,
I do think the home crowd, having the home crowd definitely helps. I think it definitely gets you going a bit for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how many times has Canada won this tournament? It's like they're like, oh my gosh, we're so good. We
high
won
double digits. I'm gonna guess like 15 gold medals, probably more than that.
It's so funny. They like pat
I think
themselves
Russia's
on the
second.
back.
Like they
so
won a
much.
time when they were the Soviets.
It's like, yeah, this is your sport. This is all you do. And you're like patting. You're like, we have the best young kids.
U.S. have
It's
5 or 6,
Okay.
something like that.
World Junior Hockey Championship. Gold 20, Canada's 20. They have the most.
U.S. is 2004, 2010, 2013, 2017, 2021, 2024. If I'm correct. I know that. Yeah.
The U.S. has 6. Russia, if you include CIS and the Soviet Union, they have 13. 4 is Russia, 8 is the Soviet Union, and 1 is CIS, which is the Commonwealth of Independent States, former Soviet
I guess
Union.
Finland's after the U.S., right?
So all these Russian.
Finland is after the U.S. with 5.
yeah.
Sweden has only
twice?
won twice the World
wild.
How many
Juniors.
does the U.S. have?
6. Yeah.
15 total medals. 6 gold, 2 silver, 7 bronze.
They
How
both
many
come
golds?
recently,
How many
though.
golds does Canada have?
20.
Dude.
Well,
Yeah.
the U.S. weren't relevant.
I'm
until,
also
like,
not
the
going to
2000s,
pretend during all this World Juniors and Four Nations shit. I'm not going to pretend to like Canada. All right, our Canadian viewers are going to have to stick with it.
Those
because,
are ops over there.
Yeah, I'm talking mad shit about Canada this whole time. All right.
What is a kilometer?
And we've been asked to do World Junior content
We will.
too. So we'll do something, the idea of live streaming a Canada USA game was brought up.
do that. We should
I
do
don't know what the schedule is because they'll be in the same group. So usually they'll Probably they're scheduled that for Saturday,
think
or
they're
they'll
playing
want to do it New Year's Eve,
I think it's after the Winter Classic game.
which sucks, and we might not do that then. in
Yeah,
that case,
that'd be
but
tricky. Yeah, it depends what time, what the
we might
turnaround
do
time
it,
is.
we might not.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
But we could do maybe we'll do post game shows for it. Maybe we'll, we'll live stream some of the games. We could
We'll
live
talk
stream
about
the
plenty on
gold
the
medal
show,
game,
too.
and
Gold medal game for sure.
Yeah, and we'll talk
hopefully
about
it's
it
US, or one of US Canada would be nice.
yeah.
Yeah, unless it's like 2 European nations. I don't know if we'll be that into that. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from the weekend? No, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But just excited to get this, influx of hockey here because we're going to get a little break here, for the holidays coming up. But it should be a good little lead up here. Last time we led up to the holidays, our golden boy had at Michigan on the 23rd of December last year. So maybe there's something cooking there. I don't know. Try to speak that into existence.
I love that.
I was at a Christmas party because my family was weird. Like, okay, we're 24th, 25th. No, let's do a Christmas party on the 23rd. So I missed Betsy's Michigan live, and then I got back and that was something to see. But yeah,
I was probably working actually.
yeah, we both missed it.
Now that I think about it, I was definitely working. That's so funny. All of the Blackhawks milestones and Betsy's milestones always happen when I'm working. I think we drafted him when I was working. I think we won the lottery when I was working. Classic.
No, he's just out here grinding, man.
Yeah.
The grind doesn't stop.
The life
for
of the
Mr.
proletariat in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, this is the grind here.
True.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay.
Anything else? I think.
Yeah, I mean, I did actually have one last thing. If you guys wanted to have a little
Did
fun
you
on
see
this
a little
Friday.
game coming for us?
Oh, I did. I forgot. I was gonna make a game, and then I totally forgot.
I was gonna make a game too.
We'll do it next week.
I have a segment that I can't say what it is because then you guys can just
Ruin the
research
segment.
and ruin it. But
What is it?
You're not getting me, bitch.
So no game. No game. Okay. No. All
We'll
right.
do a game.
I mean,
We'll do a game. We'll do a game
Monday,
either
yeah.
Monday.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do a game remotely,
live
and
stream,
then shoot, we'll do a bunch of games the following week. But this was interesting. There have been talks surrounding the Montreal Canadiens and SK St. Petersburg playing an exhibition game. I'll read this.
That's funny. That was on that team.
This is from Hockey Worldwide on Instagram. With the Montreal Canadiens management actively in St. Petersburg to evaluate a selection of their top prospects, it has been revealed that there have been talks about setting up an exhibition match with SKA. SK General Manager Roman Rottenberg had discussions with Canadian Senior Advisor Vincent Lecavalier about player development, which also crept into talks about possible matches between Montreal and SKA. According to Rottenberg. Rottenberg, who is also the first vice president of the FHR, which is the Russian Hockey Federation, which is a new thing if you're not hip to the politics of international hockey. Basically, the Russian Hockey Federation, they broke off from the IIHF essentially so that they could run their own show and not have to play by the rules of the IIHF. So Rottenberg, first vice president of the FHR, added that this requires NHL's decision. This decision is made by Commissioner Gary Bettman himself. More from Rottenberg. We are ready for this to play at SK Arena. We are also ready to play in Montreal, or in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Istanbul. Wherever there is an opportunity to organize such a match, we are sure that there is also very important for the development of hockey. We have also discussed the legends of the game. After all, Montreal has its own team. Vincent Lecavalier plays for himself. So I think maybe he's even talking about doing an alumni match if you don't get the actual guys together. I don't know. I saw that and I thought that would be fun.
That'd be pretty cool for the Canadians too, because I know Demodog plays on that team. It'd be kind of funny if he played the Canadians in an expedition match.
That would be cool.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
That would be super cool.
He just lit it up. That'd be great. Yeah.
Do you guys have an appetite for watching NHL teams against other clubs around Europe?
It's a cool idea. I mean, I know they sometimes they do those exhibition games before the season starts, preseason or something like that. How the Hawks used to do it a couple times. They played with that Berlin team a few years ago, and that's how they found Lucas Reichel and started scouting him. I'd like to see more of that stuff. That's pretty cool.
I love it. I would love it. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
NHL and the Champions League do it. They won't ever do it.
And
but
we talked
they
about
should
the show, the atmosphere. We mentioned this. It's like a soccer or football crowd in Europe, so it's pretty cool to see that kind of difference. So it would be cool if we brought more of that here. These chants and stuff during these games and stuff, just constantly. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe it's all Russian propaganda. Who knows? I don't know. Okay. Is that it for Friday's show?
Yeah, I think we're just looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully, let's get another win here. Good post-game show. We'll be there tomorrow. And, big week next week, holidays and all. And then the Winter Classic. That's going to be a really huge week there. So, got a good month.
We have a ton planned for that week. We have a ton planned for that
huge
week.
Month.
Oh, shoot. Party City is shutting down all of its locations.
No!
Party City is going out of business after 40 years.
Dude, that's where I get my coffee.
All right, everybody, subscribe to this podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. Tell a friend. Leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It means a lot to us. Post-game show tomorrow after the game against the Flames, and we will be back Monday for something, whether it's a show or a live stream or both. I don't know.
Yes, sir.